Let's take Gail Simone, for example. This is a tweet from December 16th, 2018, when she was confronted with the accusation that she runs, or she is a complicit in a whisper network. She goes, ha, 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 yes, of course, our whisper campaign. Yes, of course, it's part of our whisper campaign. According to doofuses. Yeah, that does seem to be denying and attacking, doesn't it? Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, that's so that's the first part of Darvo, doesn't it? It does seem like the first part of Darvo. And then she goes on to say, today's whisper campaign topic. Oh, it's so silly that there should be any thought that there's a whisper network. The first one is number 1. A good Ben Stiller movie. Whoa, we're so funny. Number 2, covering up for bad smells at cars. Wah, wah, oh, yeah. And number 3, comics page glue. Fact or myth? So again, this does seem a bit like denying and attacking to me. Do we get the vote? I think we're going to get the vote as well. Little spoiler, the vote's coming. So, yeah, these whisper networks that we said do not exist. They kind of got people kind of started confirming they exist because they were so comfortable within them, as Heather Antos. Pro tip: industries are small, people talk. Don't be a dick. You know, that's actually pretty darn good advice. But it does seem to say there is a whisper network. But, you know, it says it in a, not quite as damning fashion. You know who says it in a really damning fashion? I have it over here. Let me... it's Alex DeCampi again. Here we go. So on January 8th, she said, warning to writers, the agent Barry Goldblatt. Oh, and it's always a Jewish name, isn't it? It's so embarrassing. Oh, whatever. It's always like, oh, Harvey Weinstein. Really? You couldn't have been like De Klerk or a Smith. Or no, has to be Weinstein. Really? No, please. Not good. Has opened up to queers again. Last year, he publicly sexually harassed a close friend at a convention. That seems a bit wild to me. That does seem a bit cray-cray. Really? Like publicly? No. I would believe you completely right up until, what was it, last year or year before when everybody freaked out when, what's the name, the Supreme Court guy, Kavanaugh was being confirmed. And they like, at that point, I stopped believing women, okay? That's the point where I'm like, yeah, no, I don't believe that. I'm out, okay? I'm sorry, but, that's just the normative reaction that the same person would do when confronted with such clear and obviously politically motivated lying. I have to say, look, as an aside, whenever you use morality to attack somebody disingenuously, like say, oh, that man's a racist, Catholic, and it just has that man has a large public platform that's saying things you don't like. And people with large public platforms that says things you do like who are racist, you kind of let go. Not so good for you. Not so good for your credibility. Okay, so last year, public sexually harassed a close friend at a convention. Really? In front of multiple witnesses? Really? Like, what does that even mean? Because she wouldn't sign with him? Like, what did he do? Did he get his dick out and start waving it in her face? Like, whoa, that's what, like, really? That's just weird. He often creeps on young female writers on Twitter. That I believe. Oh, that I believe. Because, I think he believes that's harmless. And quite frankly, if you want to end all this sexual exploitation in the comic book industry, or just in the workplace in general. You know what was a really good plan? What would be a really great thing? Monogamy. Monogamy is great. Find one person, get married to them, and live with them for the rest of your life. I mean, there's a lot of other benefits as well. It's actually good. It's a good thing. Have some kids as well. You do that, and if everybody does it, if that becomes like something that's a good thing to do rather than it's been derided as it has been for like the last 50 years, I think you'll probably get less sexual harassment because if people are happy in marriages, or just doesn't want to, even if you're not that happy in a marriage, but you just don't want to betray your wife who's kind of, or your spouse who's you spend a lot of time with, and you do kind of get to like them. Well, beyond beyond everything else. You don't want to do that. Would really cut down on this, in my opinion. I think make monogamy quite a good thing. But then, as I was saying it, I was thinking about Mad Men. I'm like, well, that didn't work then, did it? In the 50s, no. So I don't know, but I still monogamy, probably a good thing. Monogamy is probably a good thing. Then she goes on to say, I would strongly advise female authors not to query with Barry. That seems like a really reasonable thing to do. He is not safe. If you're planning a query with him, I'll be more than happy to provide you with a whole list of agents who won't try and grope you in public. Really? That's what he did? Oh my God. Again, monogamy. If he had to go home to his wife and she heard that she tried to grope somebody in public, that would not be good. My wife would be not happy with me at all. I wouldn't do it really for that reason, other than it being wrong. But that's you have a real consequence built in that way. So then Beth, history loving coconut Barnett replies, thanks for head up, Alex, which I think is a pretty fair reply. Although I have to tell you, I don't speak emoji. Okay, I'm too old to speak emoji. So her little emoji icons next to her is a rainbow flag. That I understand, okay? Not the rainbow flag. But I thought the rainbow was the way to go. But okay, never mind. But next to that is a camel. What does a camel mean? I don't understand at all. Okay, but here's the important bit. Now we're getting to the important bit. Alex the Campy replies and says, he's been verbatim on the Whisper networks for years. So the Whisper Network kind of exists. She kind of like pointed it out right there, didn't she? They do kind of exist, even though the attack was the approach was Darvo deny an attack. They do exist. Time to stop whispering and start shouting. So that seems like pretty much confirming, confirming there is a Whisper Network. So let's go a little bit further here. And then, we see more about these Whisper Networks. Whisper Networks are not enough. They only protect people in the know enough to talk to people with insider knowledge. We need to do better in driving crappy people out of the industry. So by crappy people, what does she mean? Does she mean Warren Ellis? Does she mean like all these many abusers she's been spoken about? I don't think so. I think she means people who don't align with them politically, they are the crappy people that need to be driven out of the industry. And then maybe I'm just making up. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, right? Maybe not, because this is again Bleeding Full. We get to see inside the Whisper Network. We see Gail Simone, Zoe Quinn. That's just really. Driven anybody's death recently, Zoe? Alex the Campy, of course. Magdalene Francis, Max Saggio, Heidi McDonald. Basically all the all the strong and powerful women or comics. So what do Whisper Networks do? Who are these people? They're driving out these crappy people. They want to drive out of the industry. Is it the sexual abusers? Well, the Campy certainly is saying on by June 30th that she really wished that was the case. Comic publishers need an independent, dedicated HR person who victims can confidentially and safely approach when their freelancers harass colleagues and fans. There needs to be real consequences attached to those reports. Really, Alex? Is that your plan? Is that your plan, Alex? Because I think that might come and bite you on the arse. Yeah, metaphorically, I do not want to be accused again of any sexual harassment, but that would mean admitting a problem exists. The only people who didn't admit the problem exists were people like you, who would attack people who were safe, who couldn't hurt their careers. They would never point fingers at people who could hurt their careers. So let's have a look at some of these things these Whisper Networks do. So I'm sure, obviously, they're not going to enforce a political bias. They want to drive out all the sexual misconduct in the industry. So here she goes, Alex the Campy herself. Hey folks, so apparently this was from May 13th, 2018. So apparently Richard Meyer's crappy graphic novel Jawbreakers is going to be distributed by Simon & Schuster. So yeah, this graphic novel Jawbreakers, you probably heard of it. You probably know. If you watch this video, you probably know about it. It was Richard D. Meyer. He's got a great channel. Your boy Zach. He hated the direction comics were going in, and he wanted to do comics of his own. And he made a deal with who was the name? Antarctic Press, I think, maybe, to distribute it. But then allegedly Mark Waid tortuously interfered, and there's been a court case going on about it for the last 2 years. And from what I can tell, Mark Waid is just doing everything he can to like run down Richard C. Meyer's war chest. But boy, if he ever makes it to court, doesn't look good for Mark Waid, which these people are really very, very upset about. So anyway, this graphic novel Jawbreakers, quite good. Anyhow, they said it was deeply racist, it was white supremacist. Nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Yeah, they did have a lot of it was set in Africa, and some of the henchmen, the villainous henchmen, were black because it was Africa and everybody's black there. Most people are black there. You know, that doesn't mean he hates black. I mean, again, the insanity you need to have to be able to put those two weird pieces together. I think you need a bit of psychotherapy at that point. I have all these folks on mute for sanity reasons. Oh, I can't listen to them. But if anyone finds out more details on this, please let me know so I can talk to my folks at Simon & Schuster and stop this crap from happening. So that does seem somebody's being disadvantaged because not because they won't acquiesce to you sexually, but because they won't acquiesce to you politically. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Really, what's the difference? Why can't Richard C. Meyer go to the HR department that you said right up here? You know, why can't Richard C. Meyer that way go to the HR department you set up there and confidentially and safely approach them when they're freelancers? You, Alex de Campi, harass colleagues and fans, which you're doing, and there needs to be real and actually cause real, genuine, real world consequences. What is the difference? What's the difference between you and Warren Ellis? You know, what on earth is the difference? There is no difference. It's the bottom line. So let's just see where she was from July 9th. This was straight after the article came out on Bleeding Full. Remember, Darvo. Was it deny an attack? So here she goes. Good morning from your Illuminati overlord to my chosen ones, and my chosen ones only. Soon our takeover will be complete. So then it goes in a weird little anti-Semitic thing because really, and you know, hashtag Jewish privilege was trending. Was it yesterday morning? Because of people like them. Yeah, people like Alex de Campi finally met their Venn diagram, met David Duke. You know, and they're like, hey, nobody told me at this at the Jewish Master Plan Committee meeting. We said again, blah blah again, deny an attack, and they reversed the victim and the oppressor. By saying that, listen, we're not randomly trying to disadvantage strangers. We're trying to stop racism happening in that. And then there's no racism happening. What's happening was political bias. We're trying to stop people with a political outlook that we don't share from entering our industry in any way, shape, or form. We don't want them getting jobs within any companies. We don't want them even crowdsourcing graphic novels successfully and then distributing. We don't want them in any way, shape, or form. So really, if Warren Ellis has said, if you don't flirt with me, not only will I not help you get a job, not only will you not get the benefits of my friendship, but me and all my friends are going to get together and we're going to do everything we can do to stop you making comics in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, what would have happened then? Is there a safe HR person that one could go to report on you, Alex and Gail Simone and Mags and all the rest of you? You know, here's a really important thing: to be credible, you've got to have the same standard you apply to yourself as you have to other people. If you can't do that, You are full of crap. And that's basically a summation of the comic book industry as it folds and goes down the tubes. Hopefully there won't be enough room in it left when it resurfaces for all these vile people and their whisper networks to fit in it and gatekeep out anybody else they find deplorable. Also, I kind of hope all the sexual abusers, which all these people have kept quiet about all these years, also don't find jobs in whatever the comic book industry is in the future. My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.